What if the secret to a calm mind wasn't just meditation, but also grabbing a mop? If you are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, even just messy and ugh, then this video is for you, because we are going to transform this messy space and this chaotic mind into a Zen paradise, a haven of such that is smelling lovely, that is sparkling clean, and brings joy and a sense of calm. And as you can see, we have got a lot of cleaning to tackle. We've got some play couch stuff that's had juice and just messy hands in it. We have got this icky carpet which desperately needs a deep clean, so I am psyched to get my deep cleaner, my carpet shampooer out and give it a good scrub. We've had some lovely creative artwork over these cushions, and we've had some soup spilled on this speaker. I believe it was leek, miso and potato soup. So hey, at least the kids are eating healthy. That's something. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Amy. This is Ren Plus Us. I make weekly homemaking, motherhood, cleaning type videos. I am very relaxed here. Our community is super, super welcoming, and we're all about being real and the realities of life. I am definitely not perfect. As you can see, I'm very much a type B fun mum. I'm ADHD. I'm all over the place, but I am doing my best at the moment to clean and declutter my house, to have a calmer mind, and just, I really believe in living in a way that's more simple, more minimal. And I think these days it's so easy to get overwhelmed with stuff and end up with a cluttered mind. And, I kind of do hear this saying quite a bit, where it's like your space reflects what's going on inside, what's going inside your mind. Look, I suppose, if we're looking at the proof is in the pudding, then yeah, because my mind is like always in a million places. And that definitely reflects in my space. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think that having a cluttered space is inherently a bad thing. I actually hate the feel of super minimalist spaces that feel cold. I like just a little bit of character. I don't want to say cluttered, but I like a little bit of stuff, around, just to make me feel cozy. I think I saw a video recently where someone was talking about they want their house to feel kind of, Studio Ghibli or like those old style country cartoons like Peter Rabbit and things like that, where, the houses are just kind of a little bit cluttered and have quirks and are lived in. I personally do like that style. That's me. So, I'm not trying to get rid of every single thing and just be totally a minimalist. And plus, I'm a fun mom. I like having a lot of toys around and having a lot of things to do. I like to be silly. I like to play with my kids. And they're only young for such a small amount of time that I really just want to enjoy it. So yeah, that's just life. That's real life. But at the same time, you've got to have some kind of a balance. So for me, having a space that is at least organized and functional and somewhat decluttered is really important. And it really helps my mood so much. I'm such a different person when the house is clean. But I will tell you guys something else, and please let me know if this is you. It's kind of like, we talk about this a lot in psychology, where you go back to your kind of base happiness no matter what is going on around you. So, for example, if you are someone who is naturally a really kind of sad, depressed person, and you win the lottery, for example, you're going to be super happy for a little while. Things are going to be awesome. You're going to feel great. And then eventually, even though you've got millions and millions of dollars, you'll go back to your base level happiness. And also, say if you're someone who's naturally super, super happy and something terrible happens to you, maybe you suffer from some awful injury and you get paralyzed, yes, you'll feel terrible for a while, but you'll actually go back to your base happiness. And I feel like the same happens to me with the house. It's I get used to the level of, so when the house is like super, super clean, I'll feel good for a small period of time, but then I'll kind of just revert back to how I was feeling before. And then it's like, I feel like I have to get the house even more clean to reach that level of peace and calm again. And then it gets into this cycle where it kind of becomes overwhelming because I'm constantly like, oh my God, I have to pick up every single little thing. So I feel this sense of peace and calm. Like it's addictive. It's like an addiction, you know, it kind of wears off. So I don't know. I don't really know what to do about that situation. So even though in this video, yes, I am going to be talking about cleaning and decluttering for mental clarity, I will also just tell you to remember what I've just said. That, you know, we do go back to our baseline happiness. But you know what? It's nice to just get a little bit of a dopamine kick for a while. Like we got to take what we can get. And I think as well, cleaning is great exercise. It gets you up, it gets you moving. And if you're someone like me who really has a hard time doing something if there's not like a very specific purpose, then cleaning can be a really good way to exercise. You're getting stuff done. There's a purpose to it. For me, one of the big purposes of cleaning is doing it for my kids so they've got a nice home to live in and to grow up in. But I'm going to take a quick break from the cleaning to tell you guys about today's wonderful sponsor. So I have been on a little bit of a health kick lately. I've changed my diet from mostly chocolate to a Mediterranean diet full of fruits, veggies, meat, and whole grains. But I gotta say, I was super anxious about getting back to exercising because I get terrible muscle and joint pain that can be seriously debilitating. And I wanted to be able to still keep up with my kids and the housework as much as I could. Luckily, the coincidence God shined on me because the amazing team at Bob and Brad reached out and sent me this incredible massage gun. Now, I've tried other massage guns before, and honestly, I have not been that impressed. I've always found them loud, heavy, clunky, and the battery drains super fast. But the Bob and Brad Q2 massage gun is lightweight, portable, and a total game changer. Weighing just 1.5 pounds, I can easily carry it in my bag or use it right at home. Its powerful brushless motor and 5 massage heads with 5 speeds help me relax and recover those sore muscles fast. And thanks to its quiet noise reduction technology, I can use it anytime, even when the kids are nearby having a nap, without waking them up. It's quick to charge with Type-C, and with the auto-off feature, I feel safe and in control. But you will not have to charge it often because seriously, you guys, I have charged this, I think, once since I've got it, and it has not run out of battery, and I just don't even understand how that's possible, but there you go. So Bob and Brad are 2 physical therapists who over a decade ago set out to provide the best collection of get fit, stay healthy, and pain-free information anyone could find. Today, they are renowned as the most famous physical therapists on the internet, at least in their opinion. So whether I'm after a quick massage relief or a little self-care after a busy day, the Bob and Brad Q2 massage gun helps me stay energized, pain-free, and ready to keep going so I can be the best mum and homemaker I can be. So if you're looking to recover fast, reduce muscle tension, and keep up with your busy life, I highly recommend the Bob and Brad Q2 massage gun. But let's get back to the cleaning. Oh, and let me tell you guys one more thing about Bob and Brad. They are super, super kind. They absolutely love and support our community here. So they have offered us 10% off with the codes that are in my video description down below. So when you finish watching, head down there, check them out, click the link, and get yourselves one. And you guys, I do not do many of these sponsorships, and I only pick stuff that I 100% approve of, and I do love this product. So do yourself a favor. Give yourself a bit of a massage. Okay, let's get back to the cleaning. So even if, there's maybe some, slight issues with this concept of mental clarity through cleaning, there definitely are some really helpful aspects to it. And I do so often feel mentally drained and really uninspired by my environment I find myself just getting really tired and just cranky and feeling not so motivated when my house is a mess. But when it's clean, it's like you've got this space. You've got this space to live life and do what you want. It's sort of this feeling of like when you're a young teenager and the world is full of possibilities. It just makes the day better. So one of the things I love to do just to feel so much nicer in my space is to do what I've been doing, and that is to shampoo the carpet. And it makes a huge difference. And I got to say, the smell of the carpet cleaner, it just makes me feel so happy and refreshed. And just the satisfying nature of, sorry guys, I got a frog in my throat. The satisfying nature of like vacuuming up all the nasty mess and emptying it and tipping it out. It's sort of like you're getting rid of some procrastination and some negative feelings inside yourself. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but I don't know. That's how I feel. But here we go, you guys. Oh my gosh. This is another thing. One of the things that I find when I'm doing these kinds of cleanings is I love to clean spaces that I've been neglecting. And I do think sometimes we neglect things in our emotional life and in our mental life that we kind of push under the rug. And I think we do that in real life as well, push things under the rug. So I find that when I actually open my eyes and see the reality of the mess and clean it up, there's something inside me that shifts and I feel empowered. I do. I feel empowered. And again, I know that probably might sound a bit strange, but just doing these little things around your home can give you such a sense of accomplishment. So often there's things that I'll put off, and I think we all do this. There's like little things that we'll put off and we constantly think about them. And so our lives constantly feel like overwhelming and busy because there's all these little things that we haven't got to yet that we have to get to. But when we actually write ourselves a list and tick those things off the list, so often it only takes like a couple of minutes and you just feel so good for having done it. And you're like, why didn't I do this earlier? Why have I been like stressing about these little tasks that are actually super, super easy to get to and get done? Lists, you guys, lists are my friend. If I am feeling like overwhelmed, the first thing I do is just write a list of all those little things I got to do. Just brain dump it all. Have your list, go through, tick off each thing. Another thing I like to keep telling myself when I'm feeling really overwhelmed is that I am human. Like, I'm a human being. I am not always going to complete every single task. I cannot do everything at once. I have to eat healthy. I have to get some exercise in. I have to sleep. I have to play with my kids. I have to even have a little bit of time for me just to like wind down and watch some like crappy 80s horror movie on Tubi, which I've been doing lately. Strange, but yeah, I find that really relaxing.
In and out of love, never get enough. We never seem to get older. When things are going right, you seem to have the time. But when it's hard, you just grow colder. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires around ourselves. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires around ourselves. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. Been here 1,000 times. Set up a stage of lies. Say we're done, say it's over. Shouldn't be coming back, but somehow we connect. Acting drunk soul. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words.
And if you are one of my regular viewers, welcome back. I should have said that earlier, and I'm sorry. I haven't forgotten about you guys. You'll notice that I have not been around for a couple of weeks. I have been I had mastitis, and life just was getting on top of me. So I did just take a little bit of a break. I did not mean for it to be this long of a break. I don't even like to say I've been taking a break, because I have been filming, but I just sort of haven't, had a video together for you guys. So thank you so much for everyone who reached out when I wasn't feeling well. I really, really appreciate you checking up on me and writing your lovely messages. And I'm sorry I did not get back to you sooner. Life just happened, and it does sometimes. But I'm here, I am back, and I'll be making sure I stay on track with my videos for at least a little bit longer. Here is another thing that I like to do for mental clarity, and that is wash the kids' play couches. Like, again, this is something I love, which is really weird. And let me know if you guys are the same, but I freaking love the smell of fabric softener. But just like the house being clean, I get used to it. And so I like to sometimes just switch up my fabric softeners, and then I can smell them again. And it smells so lovely and fresh. And just having that smell in the living room of the carpet cleaner and the fabric softener that I've put on the play couch. Oh, it feels so good. I gotta say, getting the fabric off of this play couch and putting it back on is horrendously difficult. I make it look easy, I gotta say, but it's tricky. It definitely is a little bit stressful, but it is so worth it. And this is just another little tip. If you guys want your house to smell super nice, dry your clothes inside in front of your heater. And if you've got a heater that blows, we call it a heat pump here in Tasmania. If you've got a heater that blows hot air, put it in front of that, put your laundry in front of that, and the whole house will smell like lovely, fresh laundry. I don't have a dryer at the moment, and it's winter here, so I really don't have an option to do anything other than that to dry my things. But yeah, it has its upsides. But I gotta say, one of the best things that I've bought for my kids are these play couches. Even though, yes, they're big and they take up a huge amount of my living room, I totally don't mind, because they just play on them all the time, and they can play with their older brother as well, which is really cool. They've got my eldest is 13 and my youngest is only 2, and then my middle child, he is nearly 4. He'll be 4 in October. And so, obviously big age range between the eldest and the youngest, and this is something that they can kind of all do together. They can all roughhouse on these cushions, which is awesome. I love it. And I like to roughhouse too sometimes. So if you're looking for, a really good toy for your toddlers, babies, slightly older kids, yeah, play couch. You can get them pretty inexpensively now, which is good. But I will say that I have been making some massive transformations with my house. As I was saying, I have not taken, sorry guys, water break. I've not taken actual time off. I've still been doing a lot. And I'm slowly but surely transforming, which don't worry, I'm filming it for you guys. My office space, which then got turned into my hoarder clutter space for a while, is now being transformed into a playroom bedroom. And some of you guys told me to do this, and I was already thinking about doing it, but when you said to do it, I was like, that's it, I'm doing it. So I've started that process, and I'm so excited to show you guys when it's finished. But I've also made another big decision, which I've been thinking about for the longest time, and I finally pulled the trigger on it. And that is, I have gotten rid of my big wooden table. If you watch this channel, you'll know what I mean. But if you don't, it's okay. I had this big, beautiful table in front of my kitchen, dining area, kind of dining nook. But honestly, we never use that table. Like I hate sitting at a table. We're all a bit like neurodivergent. We're all about our like feeling comfortable and stuff. And just sitting upright on a table has just always like felt awful to me. I hate that feeling. And it just didn't feel cozy. It was too big for the space. It was a beautiful table. I got it secondhand for $100, and yeah, but it only really gets used like a couple of times a year besides just storing clutter on it. So I made the decision to get rid of that, and I ordered this really, really cool coffee table that like folds out into a dining table. So for the small periods of time that we do need a dining table, like Christmas and, you know, if extended family is over, then we can use it as a table. But other than that, it can just be a coffee table. And I've also ordered a couch to go around it. So we're going to have a couch with a coffee table that also turns into a dining table, and just like a couple of little chairs as well. And I think it's just going to open up the space so much. And, you know, my parents always give me a hard time about not eating at the table with the kids. And, you know, I do know that there's positives about it. But for us, it's not. Like, we're probably the outliers in these studies, because I find trying to eat with the little kids, nobody wants to sit at the table. Like, it's just not us. We'll just sit there awkwardly, or people will be crying and screaming. It's just a stressful situation. It's not enjoyable at all. But this way, I think we can come together as a family and relax and eat. And I think it's all going to work out. And I think sometimes, you know, you just have to do what's right for your family. Even if society tells you to do something different, even if studies tell you to do something different, like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a scientist, like, I'm all about science. But sometimes you got to do what's right for you. And for the most part, you do know your kids differently than other people know them. Another thing, your kids are probably more resilient than you give them credit for. It's one thing I noticed. I used to work when I was younger with children at a camp in the States, which was an awesome experience. But the parents, I gotta say, were so like, oh, my child needs this to be happy, my child needs that, blah, 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 blah. Which is all well and good, but like, their kids were such different people when the parents weren't there. They were so much more confident. They were fine. Like, they were having an awesome time. They didn't have any worries. They felt comfortable. And I think so often, like, we, especially this day and age, we don't see our kids as resilient as what they actually are. I think we used to. I feel like when I was a little kid, like, I was born in 85. So, you know, I grew up in this awesome time where kids could still be kids. But, yeah, like, I remember, I don't know, I just felt like I had a lot more freedom. My parents were, like, less concerned than I am today. And, you know, my dad will, like, roll my eyes at me when, you know, I won't let my son, who's 13, walk to the bus by himself. But I don't know, it's just, I also do true crime stuff, so maybe I'm more paranoid because of that. Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. I've just gone, like, way off topic of mental clarity. But I'm organizing stuff right now in this video. That's what I'm doing. Organizing, sweeping. I feel like I almost want to do a whole video on, like, the art of sweeping, because I find sweeping to be such a, like, spiritually cleansing ritual. And I feel like other cultures kind of know this inherently. I feel like there's something really special about a broom and the optics of the broom and the what a broom symbol, the symbology, is that a word? The symbology, let's go with it, of the broom. Like, it's in a lot of fairy tales. Yeah, the art of sweeping. I'm going to look into this. I know that I've read stuff about the importance of, like, sweeping before, and, like, what the broom actually means in terms of, like, witches and stuff like that, and living in the forest. I'll let you guys know. There's a whole, like, deep dive on brooms that I could do and sweeping. But I do remember I used to work, see, this is how old I am. I used to work at Blockbuster, and one of my little jobs every morning, I worked there for ages, like 7 years. Like, it was my home. Every morning I'd have to sweep the front, like the outside the front of the store. And I don't know why, but I love doing this sweeping. It just put me in such a good mood. And I sort of, watched the people walk by. And, in hindsight, it was like being in some like early 90s movie, like family movie, with like the shopkeeper sweeping out the front. Just felt good. I'm just doing a quick little kitchen tidy here. You guys, I didn't know if I should include this or not in this video, but I just decided to because honestly, it was just a quick little tidy. I definitely did not make the kitchen perfect. As you can see, it desperately needed a little tidy. And sometimes, that's all we got time to do is just a quick little tidy. As you can see, I've got a big bowl of eggs sitting there in my sink. For those of you who don't know, I live in the Tasmanian countryside and I've got some chickens which lay so well at the moment. But unfortunately, I had 4 chickens. I started spring off. I don't even know. Is it spring here? I think it's spring here. I started spring off with 4 chickens. I now have 1. I had one which sadly got hit by a car. I had another one which just disappeared. And then I had another one. Oh no, yeah, disappeared. And then I have one which, look, I think maybe one of the neighborhood dogs got it. I heard some barking the other morning. I know that there's some dogs that can like push our little fence over where the chickens are. So I am worried that a dog got it. I would have looked on our security camera because we've got heaps of cameras around, but unfortunately we didn't have as much storage as we thought. And so the video footage got erased before we had a chance. So I'm getting 2 new chickens on Friday. And I'm going to have to figure out how to keep them a little bit more safe. I like to keep them free range, but at the same time, I don't want anything bad to happen to them because they're part of the family and they need some protection. So I don't know, I'm going to have to figure that out somehow. But how do you guys feel about like dogs? I feel like I hear about a lot of... Sorry, I got distracted by someone. I read about a lot of dog attacks these days, and so many people, I think, got dogs in lockdown and just did not understand how hard it was to look after them and the amount of responsibility. I think as well a lot of dog organizations, I don't want to say which one, but there's a certain charity here in Australia and around the world that I think gives a lot of misinformation about dogs and maybe over romanticizes having a large dog and under emphasizes the fact that different breeds can be more dangerous. And it's not necessarily that different breeds are inherently more vicious, but it's just that there's certain breeds that have a different way of when they do attack, and all dogs can attack. I've been attacked by a sausage dog. All dogs can attack. But, if you get bitten by a sausage dog, it's kind of funny. If you get bitten by a pit bull, it is another story. Like, those dogs, the way they attack is they hold on and they don't let go. They're super strong and super powerful. And I just don't think that, I don't know, I don't think are responsible enough to have those dogs. And even if people are super, super responsible, accidents happen. And you just can't have 100% control over an animal all the time. So, I don't know. I know it's a very controversial subject. And just so you guys know, I'm a dog lover. I grew up with a beautiful big dog. But I definitely wouldn't have a large dog around my kids when they're young. It's, I don't know. I think it just makes me too nervous. I don't think it's safe. So these balls are from the ball pit. The ball pit, which I know a lot of you guys hate and want me to get rid of. Look, I'm transitioning to something else. But as I said, I don't know. I like to have fun. I always wanted a ball pit when I was a kid. I'm just living vicariously through my children. And oh my gosh, you guys, this floor, so freaking gross. This is when I always have a chair here, and I kind of had like a little basket of toys and just sort of ignored this area of grot and mess, which is really gross, and I need to be better and not do that. I very rarely use bleach in my house. There's people in my house that are really sensitive to the smell of it. I'm a weirdo. I quite like the smell of it. It makes me feel like things are really clean. But again, this is one of these little like corners, one of these little areas that cleaning it just made me feel so good and so empowered about myself. Maybe for you guys that are just like naturally really kind of on top of your housekeeping, don't understand what I'm talking about, but or it just sounds stupid to you guys. But seriously, like the feeling of scrubbing that off the ground was really good. And I was having a difficult night. Like I was not enjoying this clean. The kids were going nuts. Filming in the bathroom is really tricky because there's just not a lot of space in there. But having it done, I was like, yes, I've got it done. I did get a headache from the bleach though, because I don't use it often, so I'm not used to it.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride.
For my viewers in the US, you guys okay? Life over there is crazy right now. We just had to stop the music and ask you guys that. Are you guys okay? Man, watching everything going on over there is just... it's a little bit stressful. I actually had a few days where I had to turn off. I really feel deeply things that happen around the world. And I feel really frustrated when I feel like I can't affect any change from things. And I actually found that I had to just turn off my social media, like for a bit, and just not look at what was happening around the world because it was just putting me in a bad mood. And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. You know, if you are feeling like overwhelmed at the moment, stressed, depressed about the situation in the world, seriously, turn off your phone. Do not watch the news. Don't look at the news. It's not worth it. Chances are you can't do anything about something that's happening anyway. And it's just going to put you in a bad mood. Take care of your family. Take care of yourself. And, you know, when you're in a better state, just, you know, and you want to check to see what's going on, check to see what's going on. But don't be afraid to switch off from the world. You know, we weren't designed to be this integrated with what's happening in the world around us. We were only really supposed to know what was happening within our little tribe. So don't be afraid. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just switch yourself off. But I'm going to be doing some cooking. I'm going to be cooking, and I'm trying to remember what I was cooking because I filmed this quite a while ago now. We're cooking a chicken slow-cooked stew. We're going to do parsnips. We're going to do carrots. We're going to do chicken. What else am I putting in here? I'll definitely be putting onion in here. And this is really cool. My kids love to help me cook. And I've got these really cool toddler knives. If I can find the link, I'll link them below. Hopefully I'll remember. They're great. They do cut, but they don't like cut the kids somehow. But I love a good slow cooked meal. And I know winter is approaching for you guys in the US. So definitely a good time to get your slow cookers, your crock pots out. And I'll keep giving you guys some yummy recipes. I really should have written down exactly what I was doing here. But seriously, if you're not sure what to cook, just get a load of veggies, get garlic, onion, herbs, and some stock, some meat or beans or whatever, you know, if you're vegetarian. Chuck it all in a slow cooker. It'll taste good. Oh, and then at the end, towards the end of the slow cooker, if you want it to be a thicker stew, just put a little bit of flour. All purpose. What do you guys call it in the States? all-purpose flour. That's what we call it. Not cake flour, not self-raising flour. Just, yeah, bit of flour. And if you're gluten-free, put some gluten-free flour in it. But let's go ahead and, oh, Ren, I just noticed you're sad there in that shot. Let's go, oh, celery as well. Let's go ahead and take a look in a moment at some before and afters. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I kind of rambled. Remember, life is short, life is now. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. Waking up.